All right, Raf here, Boricua Sense. This episode is brought to you in part by the good folks at Torombolo. And today, we are going to talk about the top 10 best releases of 2025. I've had some folks ask me about making a list of what I think are the best, and I got you 10 of the best. All these I'm going to talk about, I've worn many times. As you guys know what I do for a living, it could be physical, it could be non-eventful. I can be exposed to the rain, weather, extreme heat, extreme cold, you name it. These have passed those tests. So if this interests you, stay tuned. All right, as always, I'd like to ask you guys to like, subscribe, comment, share, repost, do whatever it takes to get the word out on these particular scents, and it helps the channel tremendously. Now, we're gonna start with let's go ahead and start with the summer, spring, maybe early fall type scents that I acquired this year. All these were released in 2025, and these are all absolutely killer. The first I want to talk about, I've mentioned it so many times, it's not even funny. I've talked about it in many videos. I can't say enough good things about this. This is by Anfar 1950, Paris Corners. Summer in Dubai. I've worn this one so many times. It's stood the test. Heat, wind, rain, you name it. This is killer, and I still don't know why this is not the number one selling fragrance of the year, because this thing is just absolutely killer. If you're looking for an aquatic summer man DNA scent, this is it. This is a blue scent, aquatic. It's just absolutely killer. I cannot say enough good things about this one. The flanker, Sunset in Dubai, is extremely good, but in my opinion, it leans feminine, but it's still a good fragrance. I gave it to my wife because I wore it, and even she asked me why I was wearing one of her perfumes. So I'm like, you know, you're right, babe. But this is absolutely killer. Summer in Dubai. All right, the next I'm going to talk about is by a company that for some reason they decided to release, I think, 97 different fragrances within a month. This is one of the good ones. This is one of the first ones that came out in the year. Not the first ones, but one of the first ones that came out this year. I bought it and I really like it. And to be honest with you, I haven't bothered with any of the other ones because they just pumped out so many, and I'm like, nah, nope. This is Hawas Tropical. This is awesome. This is supposed to be inspired by Jean Paul Gaultier. I never remember which one it is. Le Beau Paradise Garden, whatever. Never smelled it. All I know is that this one smells Le Fantastique. I'm gonna say that the mint, and you guys know I'm a sucker for a mint note. I think that the mint is what gives us the edge because, what is it? Khatlich Island. I think it's supposed to be after the same Jean Paul Gaultier thing. I think. I'm not 100% sure, and I ain't got time to look it up now. But it's very similar, but it doesn't have that sweetness that this one does. This one's awesome. Whoops. There you go. This one's awesome. I've worn this one many times. I wore it in the summer. I wore it in Florida. I've worn it here. This is killer. This lasts. I know that Hawas has a new one called Verde. Yeah, Verde. They got all kinds of other stuff, and I'm not even going to bother with that now because they just put out, I think, too many. This is one of the good ones. Hawas Tropical. All right, the next one, it's no surprise. I'm not even going to go into full detail of what the notes are. You know it, you love it, I love it, I think the world loves it. Art of Universe, yeah, come on. This is so killer. What is it, Blue Talisman? It's supposed to be inspired by Blue Talisman, yeah. This is so killer. This is one of those that you walk by it and you just have to sniff it. And I think this one, it's fitting for year round. I wear it in the summer because it's sweet, it's fresh, it's bright. It's just awesome, and it's got just the right spice that makes it. That's why it's good for the year. Man, this is killer. This is so freaking good. It's not even funny. Art of Universe. All right, the next one we're going to talk about it's, well, before I say, we can all agree that 2025 was the year of the Louis Vuitton dupe, clone, inspired, whatever, you name it. This is another one. This was what is it, Pacific Chill, I believe. This is by Afnan. You've heard about it, I'm sure. Rare Reef. This one is killer. But yeah, this stuff is killer. I think it's an extrait. Some people say, "Oh, it's an extrait, but it doesn't last a long time." Okay, I beg you differ. But this thing, on me, it lasted big time. Maybe some folks go nose blind. I don't know, but oh man, it's Pacific Chill on steroids. Let's call it what it is. Pacific Chill on steroids. There were a bunch of flankers for this one. But out of the ones I have, which I think I have 3 or 4, I think, maybe, I don't know. This is the one that lasts the longest, at least on me, on my skin. This is really good. Rare Reef. All right, there's what I'm going to talk about. I got it closer to the end of the summer, but I wore it enough to know that this thing, wow. This thing is really, really good. It seems like when it was first released, or when it was fixed to be released, they hyped the crap out of it. Then it just died, which is whatever. This one is Odyssey, Bahamas. I know a lot of people were criticizing the cap because there's no bananas in the on the nose of the Accords. Because of that. Okay. If you got nothing else to bitch about, then I don't know what to tell you, but that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But if you don't have this, I'm going to tell you exactly what it smells like. Right off the bat, this smells absolutely killer. Okay. If you're right out of the trigger, I got it all in my hand. Right out of the sprayer. If you don't know Moscow Mule by Parish Corner. Moscow Mule is one of my favorite perfumes in history. That DNA is just le fantastique, monsieur, oui, oui, je t'aime le parfum. It's absolutely killer. That is like the pow right out of the bottle. The first thing you're gonna pick up. But right away, you get the fruit. So try and picture Moscow Mule with Summer Hammer, both of those together. That's what you get right here. Oh man, this is killer. This is absolutely awesome. Don't let people that were complaining about the banana things in here, you know, oh my God, I just so. This is awesome. Odyssey, Bahamas. All right, let's move along here with the ones for the winter. Here's one that I've talked about plenty. Rayhan Valhalla. This is supposed to be inspired by Angel Share Paradise. I'm not gonna go over the notes because I'm sure you know it's got the raspberry and it's just the same thing. This one is a major compliment puller. I've gotten several compliments out of this thing, and not to mention that it's nuclear. It is very, very strong. I'm not gonna spray here because it's just gonna clash with all this stuff that's going on right now. But this is killer. Valhalla. All right, that's what I'm gonna talk about. I already talked about it the other day because it's a brand new fragrance by our friends at Lattafa. This is awesome. I've worn it already a couple of times and it projects, it lasts, gets in your clothes and forget it. You have to wash them twice to get this out. This is Assad Elixir. The best way I can describe this for you really quick, is Savage Elixir, not Assad. Savage Elixir with the Hugo Boss Absolute Dry Down. And there you have it. If you like the original Assad, you're gonna love this. If you don't have this, I would get it. You're gonna love it. It's awesome. I was very skeptical, but I pulled the trigger and I'm glad I did. This smells awesome. So you need this in your collection, Assad Elixir. All right, the next I'm gonna talk about, this one came out early in the year. I've had this one for a while. I've worn it many times. And this is an Apocalypse. This is an Apocalypse in a bottle. This is Armav's Lionheart. This is inspired by Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir. There's something else I can say to you guys that you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know what that smells like, because if you're in this game, you know what it smells like. So I'm not gonna bore you with the details. Oh man, this is so killer. The biggest thing that you're gonna get out of this is my all-time favorite, the mint. This is killer. This is one you have to be easy on the trigger because this will explode. This is killer. If you don't have this, if you like Le Male Elixir, I like this one a lot better because of that mint. It's so much more potent than the Male Elixir. But Lionheart. All right, the last two are fairly new. So let's go ahead and start with this one right here. This one I was very skeptical, but I pulled the trigger and I'm glad I did. This is 9 p.m. Elixir. This one is inspired by Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir Absolute. If you have Lattafa's Khamra Dukhan, it smells similar to it, but this thing is wicked. This cap is insane. If you drop it and it lands on your foot, forget it, it'll break your foot. Because it almost landed on mine. I was applying it and I put the cap and it fell and almost in my foot. But anyway, it's a beast. It's another one that gets in your clothes, forget it. It'll be there the next day. No worries about that. This is incredible. The biggest difference between this and Lattafa Khamra Dukhan is that the pepper in the Khamra is, to my honker, is a little bit stronger. This is darker, if that makes any sense. You still got a little bit of sweet in the Khamra, but this one, there's I don't think there's anything sweet going on here, although the notes say otherwise. But this is just dark shit, strong, powerful. Yeah, it's a killer. 9 p.m. Elixir. All right, and the last one we're going to talk about, this is from our good friends at Pear's Corners. This one, I bought it because it's a flanker to an original that I bought for my wife. I blind bought it for my wife because she was looking for a vanilla scent, and the one that I found was December Vanilla. And also, I saw a video with our hero, Daniel Rene, talking about it. He was praising it. I'm like, that's it. Don't need anything else. I ordered it. It came in, and man, let me tell you, it is le killer. It is le fantastique. So when they came out with a flanker, December Amber, I'm like, you can't go wrong. This one I've worn twice. It's got me compliments. Best of all, it lasted the entire shift and then some. The last time I wore it was when my wife and I went shopping, and everywhere that I went, that's all I smelled. I'm like, holy crap. I was trying to smell other stuff at the store, I couldn't smell anything. All I smelled was this. This is pretty stout. Atomiser's no joke either. Oh God, yeah. Whew. It's that amber is powerful. You got amber notes, you got fruit notes. This is awesome. The best thing about this one is it's one of those that you apply it and you don't even realize how strong this is, because it's crazy strong. Man. December Amber. Well, folks, that is it for this list. I know there's a bunch of others that I've talked about before, but I wanted to keep this list to just 10, because if I was going to name them all, we'll be like up to here. I wanted to keep it to these 10 because these are the ones that you basically got you got the whole year covered. So maybe we'll talk again before Christmas. I don't know. Got a lot of stuff going on this week, so till the next time, Merry Christmas. Later.